Namaskar, Jinendra, and good evening to everyone. Welcome to our today's webinar on exploring the antiquity of Jainism on Asia, Africa, and America. Today's lecture is very special. Today we will cover two states of southern part, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. Our respectable guest of honor is Mr. Ajit Kumar Bernardi, sir, from Germany. The eminent speaker is Dr. Arihant Kumar Jain, popularly known as Arihant Anuragi. His topic is the cultural and archaeological importance of Shravan Belagola, and today we will do a special screening of a documentary film directed by himself, Dr. Arihant Kumar Jain, and he is the editor, Prakrit Times International Newsletter, and assistant professor, Department of Genealogy and Comparative Religion Philosophy at Jain Vishwa Bharati University Institute at Lucknow in Rajasthan. So before he starts his lecture, I would like to give a short introduction about Arihant sir. Dr. Arihant Kumar Jain is an assistant professor in the Department of Jainism and Comparative Religion Philosophy at Jain Vishwa Bharati University at Lucknow, Rajasthan. Prior to this, he was teaching Jain philosophy at Department of Philosophy, University of Mumbai for 7 years as Dr. Radhakrishnan Postdoctoral Fellow. Earlier, he obtained his JRF, SRF, and Senior Research Fellowship by passing the NET examination of UGC and got PhD degree from Department of Philosophy, University of Mumbai, on contribution of Jainacharya Kundkund in the development of philosophical and spiritual thoughts. He has presented his research papers in about 14 national and international seminars, and more than 13 of his research articles have also been published in various research journals. He also actively being a member of the coordination team of a couple of international and national conferences. His book titled The Essence of Shravanacharya is also published. He is an editor of Prakrit Times International e-newsletter dedicated to preserving and promoting the ancient Indian language Prakrit, also serving as an associate editor for Jain Avenue International Online Magazine. Apart from his academic field, he is a poet by heart and independent documentary filmmaker who has directed many documentary films, short films. His documentary film depicting the historical and archaeological significance of Shravan Belagola and the ancient rich tradition of Prakrit language has been screened and honored at several national and international film festivals. Over to you, Aryanji.
Thank you so much. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So I start with Gomatesh Thudi. Visat kandot daladu yaram Suloyadam chand saman tundam Ghona jiam champaya pupphasoham Tam gomatesam Padamamiricham Tam gomatesam Padamamiricham. Respected President of Mahasabha, Adaraniya Babuji, Guest of Honor, Shri Ajit Kumar Bernardi ji, respected Shri Dr. Sulekh Chandji sir, today's speaker, P. Vasuki Bahubali ji, and all the eminent scholars presented here. Namo Jinanam to all of you. Just heard a very informative lecture on antiquity of Jainism in Chennai from P. Vasuki Bahubali ji. Thanks to her for this very important lecture. Now I interconnect this lecture of her and take you from Tamil Nadu to Karnataka. So as you all know, my topic is the cultural and archaeological importance of Shravan Belagola. You will see lots of information in the documentary, which will be shown you through screen share in a while. So first of all, let's talk about the significance of Shravan Belagola. Shravan Belagola is the most important tirtha, a sacred place of the Jainas in South India and at the same time, it is a place of great cultural significance in South Indian history. This holy place, with a continuous and glorious tradition of several centuries, occupies a unique position among the innumerable sacred places of the Jainas found practically in all parts of India very ancient times. It has got a rare combination of many distinctive features which are hardly present among similar places of religious nature in different part of the world. Shravanbelgola is famous in the world not only for its religious sanctity, but also for its natural beauty, historical antiquity, and archaeological superiority. From the point of view of religion, Shravanbelgola is regarded as a significant sacred place and a prominent center of spiritual activity of Jain sadhus in particular and Jain Shravakas in general. In fact, the close association of the Jain ascetics with this place is clearly enshrined in the very name of this place, Shravana Belagola. The prefix Shravana attached to the name of the place is derived from the Sanskrit word Shramana, meaning a Jain ascetic. Hence, the term Shravana Belgola signifies Belagola of Shramanas, a Jain ascetics. This is testified by the fact that from very ancient times, many Jaina ascetics used to practice penance here for long periods and ultimately lay down their lives in accordance with the rule of Sallekna prescribed by Jain scriptures. It is also popular because of the presence of the twin hills. You all know Vindhyagiri and Chandragiri. The series of temples, thousands of inscriptions that are spread across the two hillocks and the town and the Gomteshwara Bahubali. The Gomteshwara Bahubali is 57 feet statue on the Vindhyagiri hillock. This is a monolithic statue that has been carved out of a stone that was stationed at the same place, was consecrated by Chamundrai, the Gang general in the year 981 AD. Chamundraya's guru, Siddhant Chakravarti Acharya Nemi Chandra, authored many works in Prakrit during his stay at Shravanbelgola around 10th century AD. This further led towards promoting Shravanbelgola as one of the chief center of Prakrit studies. As we all know, Shravanbelgola is also popular because of the presence of the twin hills Vindhyagiri and Chandragiri. So the word Vindhyagiri also denotes a spiritual meaning, like Shravanbelgola. The word Vindhyagiri is derived from the three words Vim, it's mean soul, and the other one is Dhya, it means dhyan, doing meditation, and Giri, it means hill. So thus the word Vindhyagiri denotes hill for the meditation of soul. So since many Jain saints practice penance here in the form of meditation or contemplation, and the word Vindhyagiri came to be associated with this with the hill. And another one, Chandragiri. The word Chandragiri, the hill of Chandragupta, has a meaning of historical nature in the sense that it signifies the most important event in the life of Emperor Chandragupta. Chandragupta, the devout ascetic disciple of Acharya Bhadrabahu, lived for 12 years after death of his teacher, Acharya Bhadrabahu. In this ascetic life, Emperor Chandragupta practiced penance on the same hill in Chandragiri and died according to the strict Jain rite of Sallekna. Chandragupta this Salekhna. So the another thing is Bhadrabahu cave. There is a cave on the same Chandragiri hill known as Bhadrabahu cave, containing his footprints in which he said to have Samadhi Maran. And Acharya Bhadrabahu spent his last days in a cave on the Chandragiri hill, engaged in a severe penance, and ultimately died by taking the vow of Sallekna. This cave become in a course of time a shrine where devout monks and laymen spent their last days performing severe austerities. Acharya Bhadrabahu is said to have lived for 76 years and died by about 297 BC. Inscription number inscription number 166 of about 1100 AD in the same cave. In the same cave refers to worship being down to the footprints of Acharya Bhadrabahu for a long time. Let's talk about Bhadrabahu and Emperor Chandragupta tradition. Shravan-Belgola occupies a unique place in the history of Jainism, with its history that dates back to 2nd century BC. With the advent of Acharya Bhadrabahu, the last Shrutakeva, his 12,000 disciples, and Samprati Chandragupta. So since then, Shravan-Belgola has been the house of Jain Munis. The fact of direct association of Bhadrabahu and Chandragupta with Shravan-Belgola, popularly known as Bhadrabahu Chandragupta tradition, is supported by a large number of epigraphic, archaeological, and literary evidence of a very reliable nature. So these evidence can be briefly cited, and I want to mention some Shravan-Belgola inscription. Among the inscription of the at Shravan-Belgola itself, inscription number 31 of about 650 AD refers to the pair of the great sages Bhadrabahu and Chandragupta. Again, inscription number 67 of 1129 AD mentions Acharya Bhadrabahu and Chandragupta, who, through the merit of being his disciple, was served for a long time by the forest deities. Further, inscription number 64 of 1163 AD speaks of Acharya Bhadrabahu, the last of the Shrutakavalis, and of his disciple Chandragupta, by whose glory the sages of his Gana section were worshipped by the forest deities. Moreover, inscription number 258 of 1432 AD, after extolling the Lord of ascetics Acharya Bhadrabahu, says that his disciple was Chandragupta, who was bowed to by the chief gods on account of his perfect conduct, and the fame cursed by the greatness of whose severe penance spread into other worlds. And there are also literary evidence here. A Sanskrit work entitled Brihad Katha Kosh, written by poet Harishena Acharya in 981 AD, says that Bhadrabahu, the last of the Shrutakavalis, had the king Chandragupta as his disciple. It gives a detailed account of the life of Acharya Bhadrabahu. So these are some rock inscriptions and some manuscripts also. So we can say that पत्थर भी बोलते हैं, पत्थर भी अपना इतिहास बोलते हैं, हमारे संस्कृति और इतिहास को दर्शाते हैं. So these are the evidence and inscriptions of Acharya Bhadrabahu and Chandragupta tradition. So let's talk about the Mahamastakabhishek. So the Mahamastakabhishek of the Bahubali idol at Shravan-Belgola is conducted once in every 12 years. And I'm fortunate that I too have had the privilege of witnessing Mahamastakabhishek twice. The Mahamastakabhishek conducted in the year 1981 coincided with the 1,000 years of installation of this idol. The event is being be held under the leadership of His Holiness Swasti Shri Charukirti Bhattarak Swamiji of Shravanbelgola. On this occasion, in sacred memory of Shruta Kevali Acharya Bhadrabahu, Pujya Charukirti Bhattarak Swamiji established and inaugurated the Shruta Kevali Education Trust. In Shravanbelgola, there is the National Institute of Prakrit Study and Research, also known as a short form NIPSAR, was established at Shravanbelgola under the guidance of Pujya Charukirti Bhattarak Swamiji in the year 1991. NIPSAR is being run by SET with financial aid from the government of Karnataka and other donors. And the institute has planned a series of activities for the preservation, publication, and propagation of Prakrit literature. A huge collection of thousands of palm leaf and paper manuscripts are preserved here. And it is planned to build a huge repository of manuscripts in the institute. In addition to this, the institute had partnered with the government of India and had taken up the mammoth task of preparing a registry of all the manuscripts in 4 South Indian states. So as a part of this project, the institute has been successful in recording the detail of about 51,000 manuscripts. So taking all these facts, I had the privilege of making a research documentary film on the archaeological and cultural significance of Shravanbelgola prior to Mahamastakabhishek under the guidance of Pujya Shri Jagadguru Karmayogi Swasti Shri Charukirti Bhattarak Swamiji of Shravanbelgola. And this responsibility was very difficult, but after a few months of research and hard work, this documentary film was completed and it was screened in a national and international film festival as well as in Mahamastakabhishek too. So the film is available in both Hindi and English. And in this research documentary film of just 20 minutes, I have tried to cover all the information in brief. So therefore, I request Jogshri ji to please do a screening of this film through a screen share. Jogshri ji.
Yes, मैं करवाता हूँ. It's audible and visible.
Yes, yes, yes.
Ramo Arihantaram Ramo Siddharam Ramo Ayariyanam Ramo Chayanam Ramo Loe Savasahu. This great Namokar mantra, composed in Prakrit language, is an eternal mantra. The adherents of Jain religion recite it with utmost reverence, respect, and purity. It has been mentioned in Shatkhandagam, the ancient Jain scripture of Prakrit language. They were written before Christian era by the great Acharyas Pushpdant and Bhutbali, the two worthy disciples of Acharya Dharsena. Emperor Kharvil has also mentioned it in his Hathi Gumfa rock inscriptions at Udayagiri, Khandagiri. For the protection and preservation of this ancient heritage and to learn Prakrit language in more profound way, Jagat Guru Karmayogi Swasti Shri Charu Kirti Bhattarak Swamiji gave new dimensions to his imaginations by bringing up in Dhawal Tirtham the National Institute of Prakrit Studies and Research situated in Karnataka. The National Institute of Prakrit Studies and Research is situated in the holy land of Sri Shravan Belkola, has a history of prosperous tradition of Prakrit language. Dhodhaikam mamanam padmami vaddhamanam titham dhammaskataram. About 2300 years ago, when there was a 12 years of severe drought and famine in whole of northern India, Bhadrabahu, the last Shrutkevli Acharya of Bhagwan Mahavir inheritance, came to this place with thousands of munis to perform sadhana. It was here that the Jain scriptural knowledge of Acharya Bhadrabahu revealed like a stream. Emperor Chandragupta was his ardent disciple and was greatly influenced by Acharya Bhadrabahu's persona and doctrine. Emperor Chandragupta got himself initiated to Digambar Jain Diksha by Acharya Bhadrabahu on Mount Chandagiri for his own self-purification and sanctification. It is precisely for this reason that the said mount is known as Chandragiri in the memory of this great emperor. The rock inscriptions of Chandragiri prove that Acharya Bhadrabahu and Emperor Chandragupta attained Samadhi at this holy place with utmost serenity, poise and purity.
ये 2300 वर्ष पहले से ही ये प्राकृत का अध्ययन केंद्र रहा। जैसे नालंदा और तक्षशिला जैसे बौद्धों के यूनिवर्सिटी थी, उसी प्रकार काशी जो संस्कृत का विद्यालय था, तो ये श्रवण बेलगोला ये प्राकृत का विश्वविद्यालय था। वैसे प्राकृत शोध संस्थान में यहाँ पर ये जो कन्नड़ में प्राकृत ग्रंथों का अनुवाद की जो योजना है, उसमें 40 ग्रंथ निकाले जा रहे हैं और उसी प्रकार धवलेतर जो साहित्य है उसमें भी लगभग 50 ग्रंथ निकालेंगे और मूल प्राकृत भाषा की जो टेक्स्ट है उसको भी संरक्षण करने का, प्रकाशन करने का योजना है और हस्तलिखित ग्रंथ है उसका भी संरक्षण करने की योजना है। ये संस्था प्रगति करें और पिछले महामस्तकाभिषेक 1993 में ये संस्था स्थापित हुई। तत्कालीन राष्ट्रपति डॉक्टर शंकर दयाल शर्मा जी, जो संस्कृत प्राकृत के बहुत बड़े विद्वान थे, उनके द्वारा इसका जो उद्घाटन हुआ था। आज काफ़ी कुछ तरक्की की है और आगे इसी तरह तरक्की करते रहें, विद्वान आए और इसमें जुड़े, संस्था कायम हो और बहुत से विद्वानों को ये आश्रय बने और उससे दुनिया के सामने प्राकृत साहित्य का संरक्षण, संवर्धन और उपयोगिता महसूस करें।
The large number of rock inscriptions are found on this hillock in Prakrit language, and each inscription has an ancient Prakrit tale to tell. The grandeur of Prakrit language is in full bloom here. An ardent admirer can feel the resounding echo of these ancient tales.
तं गोम्मटेशं प्रणमामि नित्यम्.
Under the aegis of this institute, thousands of ancient Talpatras and other manuscripts are preserved and being translated in this Prakrit Bhavan. The Kannada translation of the detailed commentary of Shatkhandagam, Dhavla and Mahadhavla, composed by Acharya Veersen Swami, and the detailed commentary of Kasai Pahod, Jai Dhavla, and their publications are some of the prominent features of this institute from many years. A team of highly learned Jain scholars are working profusely day and night to conceive these preeminent projects.
The name of the institute is National Institute of Prakrit Studies. It was under the aegis of Shuddha Kaivalya Education Trust. This was started to propagate the national, that is language, Prakrit language, which is equal to Sanskrit. According to the Swamiji, Shri Swasti Shri Charukirti Bhattaraka Swamiji of Shravanbelagola, he is the chairman of the Shuddha Kaivalya Education Trust. Under this education trust, this institute is started. The aim of this institute is to propagate the Prakrit language and literature. We are already having diploma courses and the diploma and certificate courses. That is certificate and diploma courses, a correspondence course. And we are having the PhD students here. We are in Prakrit itself. We are having about 5 scholarships we are giving every year. Those are all doing, and PhD is our institute is affiliated to Mysore University, and they are going to give the PhD degrees.
अच्छाय सच्चं जलकन्तगण्डम्.
Shravanbelagola has a momentous position in the religious history of India. It is among the holiest of shrines and pilgrimage of the Jain culture and religion, whose tales have been vividly narrated on hundreds of ancient rock inscriptions found here.
तं गोम्मटेशं प्रणमामि नित्यम्.
It is rare to find such a religious center where the history of more than 13,000 years has been kept alive in the indelible pages of epigraphs available here. The history of 2,300 years available on 700 stone inscription in Prakrit and Sanskrit language found in Shravanbelagola in ancient Kannada script is a silent testimony even today to the glorious heritage of Indian Shraman culture. The great Jain scriptures of Shaur Seni Prakrit have been acquired from South India only. Around 9th century AD, the famous general of Ganga Naresh, Chamund Rai, a renowned scholar of Prakrit and Jain scriptures, came to Shravanbelagola. His guru Siddhant Chakravarti Acharya Nemi Chandra also came here. In order to write Shatkhandagam, in easily understandable language and to presented it in a condensed form, Acharya Nemichandra created Gomat Sar in Prakrit, the famous work of Karnaneo. Some of his famous literary work in Prakrit like Triloksara and other scriptures were also written here. He was Chamundrai who got erected only one in the world, 57 feet, world's highest monolith of Lord Bahubali atop the Vindhyagiri in Shravanbelgola. The uniqueness of this monolith, acknowledged all over as the eighth wonder of the world, lies in the fact that it has been carved out of a single huge rock of the Vindhyagiri.
Panamami nityam tam
Driven by his quest for the ultimate moksha, Bahubali stood in deep meditation and radiated the glow of spiritual tranquility. The statue of Lord Gomateshwara has withstood the test of time, reinforcing the truth. Realizing of the self is the real way to moksha. The teaching medium of Lord Mahavira was Prakrit, the language of the ordinary masses. It was on the basis of these teachings that Prakrit literature flourished. Atma, Paramatma, Karma Mimamsa, Dravya Mimamsa, Gyan Mimamsa, Tattva Mimamsa, Prathma Niyog, Dravya Niyog, Karana Niyog, Charana Niyog, and subject related with moksha, ranging from humanity as a religion to politics, Arthashastra, Ayurveda, Alankar Shastra, poetic rhythm, poetry, story, ancient biography, mythology, chemistry, craft, architecture, grammar, astrology, geography, palmistry, music, etc. There are no any subjects left which have not been described within a Prakrit literature. The great Jain Acharyas who gave contribution to promote the Prakrit literature are Acharya Gurnadhar, Pushpadant, Bhutbali, Kundakund, Yativrishabh, Shivarya, Vattaker, Kartikeya, Mailadhaval, Vasunandi, Varruchi, Hemchandra, Haribhadra, etc. Among them are Shatkhandagam, Kasaya Pahud, Tiloi Pannati, Samaysara, Pravachan-sara, Niyam-sara, Panchastikaya, Ashtapahud, Mulachara, Gomat-sara, Trilok-sara, Rayan-sara, Dravya-sangraha, etc. We shall ever remain indebted to Prakrit language for keeping alive even today the tradition of metaphysical and spiritual knowledge propounded by the celestial voice of 24 Tirthankaras of Jain religion. Under the able direction and guidance of Jagat Guru Karmayogi Swasti Shri Charukirti Bhattarak Swamiji, the teaching task of Prakrit and Sanskrit language in the Gomateshwar Vidyapith of Prakrit Bhavan is also proceeding efficiently. The students here acquire integral education. The financial expenses of the study, food and lodging of the students are borne by Gomateshwar Vidyapith itself.
प्राकृत भाषा के महत्व यह है, हमारे जैन सिद्धांत के जितने भी ग्रंथ हैं वे सब प्राकृत भाषा में, मूल रचना प्राकृत भाषा में हुई है। उसके बाद में जो है उसके हिंदी हो अथवा संस्कृति के बेकार हुई। इसलिए प्राकृत पढ़ना एक जैन विद्यार्थी के लिए अत्यंत आवश्यक है। वर्तमान काल में भी यही इसका उपयोग है। हमारे प्राचीन जो संस्कृति है जैन संस्कृति, तो उसके जो है पुनरुद्धार के लिए ये प्राकृत भाषा का अध्ययन करना अत्यंत आवश्यक है। इसी दृष्टि से जो है ये जो राष्ट्रीय प्राकृत संस्थान की स्थापना पूज्य स्वामी जी ने की है, जिससे कि हमारे समाज के जितने भी विद्यार्थी हैं, जो गरीब हो चाहे अमीर हो, तो यहाँ आकर पढ़ें हमारी प्राचीन भाषा का अध्ययन करें। अब उस भाषा के उद्धार की दृष्टि से उसमें आने वाले जितने अनेक विषयों को उसको पुनः उसको जो है समाज के सामने प्रस्तुत करें, चाहे दूसरी भाषाओं में भी प्रस्तुति कर सकते हैं।
It is adorable to watch these students performing together the ritual of Abhishek of Bhagwan Bahubali. When we see these students chanting prayers with sincere devotion and pure heart at the feet of Bhagwan Komateshwar Bahubali, it gives the feelings as though we give in the age of Bhagwan Bahubali Swami himself. There are very few institutes in the whole of our country which are truly committed for protection, preservation, promotion and research of Prakrit language. The National Institute of Prakrit Studies and Research is counted in first series among all these institutes. It is giving new way and hope to the future. There are many projects still embedded in its womb. Looking at the functioning and the goal of the institute it has set for itself, one can conclude by saying that the day are not far off when this institute will establish itself as a symbol of hope for India as well as entire world, and will definitely become a great university where the future generation will have to come here to learn about our ancient, rich and glorious past.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are.
Okay, thank you so much, and hope you like this documentary, My Little Effort, under the guidance of Pujya Charukirti Bhattarak Swamiji. I add something more in this, that about 800 odd inscriptions which the Karnataka Archaeological Department has collected at the place are mostly Jaina and cover a very extended period from 600 to 1830 AD. In addition, these inscriptions have helped us to a great extent in understanding the nature and growth of Kannada literature and language, as well as Prakrit language and literature. So His Holiness Jagadguru Karmayogi Swasti Sri Charukirti Bhattarak Swamiji, a renowned personality, is the present pontiff of the world-renowned Shravanbelgola Mutt, and as the pontiff of the Shravanbelgola Mutt, His Holiness Swamiji not only toils hard to treasure the valuable heritage of the Mutt, but is in constant attempt to improve and enhance its worth. It is at Shravanbelgola that Shrutakevali Acharya Bhadrabahu Muni and his disciple Emperor Chandragupta Maurya attained Samadhi in the year of 300 BC. The Dharmacharya Peeth was established then, and Shravanbegula has since been recognized as an important center of learning Jain philosophy, religion, and practice. So, and I believe that due to the efforts of Pujya Swamiji, Shravanbegula will soon have the distinction of establishing the first Prakrit University in the world, the process of which is in progress. So this human message of Shravanabelagola, the message of non-violence and universal peace, should be spread all over the world by various effective means of communication, because the world today still requires education and training in ahimsa. It is absolutely necessary to bring home to the people of the world that ahimsa or non-violence is not merely a theoretical principle, but also a practical way of life which can solve various problems, clamoring for solution in the world, and can thus help in the establishing universal peace and goodwill among the nations. So for realizing this purpose, International Institute for Studies in Ahimsa and in Comparative Religion will have to be started. Obviously, this Shravanabelagola is an ideal sacred place for carrying out this work on international scale, as it has got the noble tradition of doing this kind of work continuously for the last several centuries. Shravanabelagola is destined to play this in the international field in the year to come, and it has already started the work in this direction under the spiritual guidance of the preceptor of world religion and the great saint of India, late Elacharya Muni Shri Acharya Shri Vidyanandji Maharaj Ji, and it is hoped that Shravanabelagola will soon become the Vishwa Tirth, the world sacred place. So hope you like my presentation and my effort. I'm just a learner. So if I miss something or is there any mistake, so please refine me and guide me. So thank you so much. Jai Jinendra, Namo Jinana. Jokshri ji. Jokshri ji, I'm done.
जी सर.
Jokshri ji, unmute yourself.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Arihanji. It was such a wonderful lecture. And personally, if you ask me, I really liked the documentary. It was very informative. I really liked it. So thank you so much for giving such a wonderful lecture. And now I would like to invite our respectable guest of honor, Ajit sir, to say a few words about our speakers.
Thank you, Nitin. Both lectures were actually very good. I am very much delighted to hear both. And Shravanabelagola, I've been many times. I know Bhattarak ji myself since 1988. So Shravanabelagola is the place also which has been, so Gomateshwara has been praised by Siribolaya author Kumudendu Muni. This is very important because the Kumudendu Muni has said, especially I want to tell to Sulekji Jain, that the zero was invented not by anybody else, but it was given, the zero was given Bhagavan Adinatha to his two daughters. And this, you mentioned Acharya that he has written this, but there also he has mentioned that there is a picture of Adinatha giving instructions to two daughters. And this has been there in the Sirivalaya from 0, the number 1 to 9 have been invented. And this is, I'm very much interested that the progress, the Sanshotana on this book, Sirivalaya, should be made. I'm after it since 2017, but I haven't been successful in further progress. So thank you.
Namaskar, Jai Jirendra and Ajit Bhai. We have always have a very good relationship with you for the last 35 years. So I appreciate you are here. I just want to make a few comments, especially the lecture that was given by Professor Arihant Jain. First of all, I'm so glad you have started a magazine, which is the Prakrit Times. I get it every time and I read it. And the reason I'm saying is these are those steps that we are being taken by you people to bring out the beauty of the language of the Jain Agams, which is Prakrit. Many people did not know about it, so I think it is happening. About 12 years ago, I visited this institute in Bangalore, in Shravanbelgola. And even at that time, it was an eye-opener. We were a group of about 25 people. So it was Pardon?
Hand raised.
Okay. What I wanted to say is, I think through the efforts of all these steps that have been taken, probably Government of India, if I remember correctly, has recognized Prakrit as a language which need to be promoted. Is that true, Dr. Arihant Jain?
Yes, sir.
Government of
Yes.
India,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If that is so, I think all the Jain should seek the help of Government of India, especially being a minority community, whatever resources that can be made available. But on the other hand, in the West, there is quite a lot of interest in the study of Prakrit. If you remember, a year and a half ago, we sent three people who are doing PhD in Jainism, 2 at University of London and 1 at University of Chicago. These are all non-Jain, they are all non-Indian, and they came and spent 8 months in India to study Prakrit. And that time their whole plan was to spend 1 full year. Because of COVID, we have to bring them back very quickly. We have just last week announced a 50 lakh rupees fund to send 4 more scholars to India this year in June to study Prakrit. Already this announcement came out, Bhagwan Mahavir Fellowship for Prakrit Study in Jainism. And we have already received quite a few inquiries from Russia, from Poland, from other countries, including from America. So hopefully we will have those. But my humble request is, why do we stop at 4? Why do we stop at 50 lakh rupees only? Is there any possibility within India that if we get applications for more than 4 people, can we accommodate them financially? So if that is the case, please let me know, and we will be very happy when the time comes to select those scholars, that we can accommodate them. More the better. जितने आएंगे उतना अच्छा होगा. तो एक तो आपसे ये निवेदन थी. And I have been every week I've been listening to this lecture that Sethi has started, and so we are very grateful, Sethi. This is a new dimension, new area, new interest. We did not know all about this Jain antiquity. So it's creating more and more interest, including our Dr. Narendra Parson, who is very expert in America on this Jain antiquity. He's been also probably attending this. And yesterday, Sethi and Dr. Parson had a very long chat for 1 hour just on this very subject. So I'm very grateful to both these scholars. I don't want to make a speech, but Thiruvalur, it was mentioned about Thiruvalur. Now, Jains say he was one of our saints, he was one of our scholars, and also probably Hindus. Is there any way that we can bring out quite a lot of knowledge about Thiruvalur? If that is possible, that will be great help. After all, अपनी भूमि के वो स्कॉलर थे. आचार्य कुंदकुंद के बारे में जानते हैं, but Thiruvalur के बारे में Jain community भी ज़्यादा नहीं जानती. So I will appreciate if there's something can be brought out about Thiruvalur. Thank you. Jai Jain.
Noted, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Mr.
much, sir.
Adidas.
Now I would like to invite Prakash Barjatia sir from Chennai to say a few words about today's lecture.
With regards to that Dr. Aryan, I should say that he has given a presentation about Sarana. We are trying to digitization of Shastras at Mel Chittambur and with the help of Swamiji and Acharya Sri. We are trying our best from our level. We will let you know if anything is there. We have also, we are very much thankful to Mr. Dr. Aryan Jain. He is from Rajasthan and he has given extensive detail about Sarana. Thanks a lot. Jai Jinendra again.
You can speak, sir.
Yes. So thank you very much. We are very glad to hear both the today's speaker. Their information was very valuable, and as Sulik Jain has told that they are he was very glad to hear them. So thank you, both of them. I just about Sulik Jain mentioned about this Prakrit language. So the government of India has adopted the policy. In the policy, they have mentioned to develop Prakrit language. Now we all Jains should try that, just like they have established in under central government, Sanskrit, your university, same way they should establish university on Prakrit language. For this, we should try and should write letters to them, because unless and until we write letters to them and we follow this thing, the university will not come easily and not come early. So we also try it, because we are already very late in getting established this Prakrit university by central government. Second thing I want to bring to your notice, to all of you, that these Prakrit language inscriptions are not only in India, they are worldwide. They are worldwide. We have not studied them. We have not taken care of them. We went to Ethiopia, and in Ethiopia, the Germans excavated the site, 3 sites of Jain, in which we found the Silalekh, the Siddh Sila was there. In 3 of the, one temple was about 200 kilometers. Iya temple was from Almaka to Iya was 200 or 250 kilometers. Another was something, another far. So in 3 places, they found 3 Siddh Silas. And in all these Siddh Silas, there was inscription. And those inscriptions has been studied by Mr. R.K. Vasisht, professor of Delhi University. He has pointed out the inscriptions are from 1000 BC to 1300 BC old. You see, such inscription we found in Ethiopia. Such inscriptions are also there in South America. So what we Jains should try, that all these Prakrit inscriptions, wherever they are, we should get them and get it studied. They will clarify our stand of antiquity of Jainism in the world, the civilization of Tirthankar Adinath. Because in Ethiopia, the name of the capital is Addis Ababa. That is on the name of Adinath Tirthankar. So there are many things are to be connected. So we should try that. And I don't want to speak much, but I congratulate Sulik Jain ji also for giving us encouragement, motivation. And yesterday we had a talk with Prasanna Kumar ji. He was very nice to talk to him. And he has mentioned that these native Indians in America, they were earlier followers of Jain religion. They believe in Westernism also. Whatever, we will try to study them. But his interest, to know his interest, I was very glad yesterday. I thank him very much here. And again, I thank our most respected Ajit Ji Berari. He always helps us wherever we go, either in Germany or USA, he went with us in Greece also. He has helped many ways, not now, from last 3 decades, he is helping me. So I thank him very much. And I hope he will continue such assistance to Mahasabha in future also. Again, I thank him, and I thank Jogsri, I thank Neetu Jain for organizing this webinar, and they are taking very much care. Our OR is taking much care. To organize a seminar is not easy, but she takes full care. And I thank him. I thank Neetu Jain. I thank all our people who are working in Mahasabha, your Rakesh Jain, your Vikas Jain, your Bisat, he has now recently joined. He is also helping us. And our Bachan Kumarji, he is also helping us. He was earlier in IGNC. Now he is helping us. So and Narendra Kumar Jain also, he is also helping us. So all those people, they are helping us. So I'm your Manan also helping us, and to Indu Jain also helping us. So we are grateful to them. And yesterday, our Fulchinji Premi, he has also encouraged me for many things. So I thank them all. And our Lata, she is working with us. Our Suman, she is also working. So I thank them all for cooperating and to organizing such a webinar here. Thank you all much. Bolo Jai Jinendra.
Thank you so much,
Jai
Babuji.
Jinendra.
Thank you so
Jai
much,
Hind,
everyone, for
Babuji.
sparing your valuable time and connecting with us. And see you all next Sunday on our next webinar. Till then, thank you so much. Jai Jinendra and Namaskar.